It's 2 a.m. and you're lying there listening to it again. That soft, rhythmic scratch coming from the corner of your bed. Your dog isn't sleeping. He's chewing at his paw, gnawing at his side, twisting around to bite at a spot on his back he just can't leave alone. You've tried everything. The oatmeal shampoo. The cone he hates. The vet visit that cost you $200 and ended with "it's probably allergies, just keep an eye on it." And still, every single night, the scratching comes back like clockwork. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're definitely not a bad pet parent. Itchy skin in dogs is one of the most common reasons owners end up frustrated, exhausted, and honestly a little heartbroken. Because watching your dog suffer and not knowing exactly why is one of the worst feelings there is. Here's something most owners never hear from their vet. At least not in so many words. Chronic itching almost never has just one cause. It's rarely just allergies or just fleas. It's usually a mix of things working together: a weakened skin barrier, an imbalance in the skin's natural bacteria, environmental irritants, and yes, sometimes ticks and fleas hiding in places you'd never think to check. That's why so many store-bought sprays and medicated shampoos only work for a few days before the itching creeps back in. So today we're going to talk about something simple. Something you probably already have in your kitchen. It won't replace your vet, and it's not a magic cure, nothing truly is. And anyone who tells you otherwise is trying to sell you something. But there is one small, natural addition to your dog's routine that a lot of holistic vets and longtime breeders swear by for calming irritated skin and making dogs less appealing to ticks. We'll get to exactly what it is and how to use it safely in just a moment. But first, let's talk about why your dog is itching in the first place. Because understanding the why is what actually helps you fix the problem instead of just masking it. Most dog itching falls into a few hidden categories that owners rarely connect. The first is environmental allergies, things like pollen, dust mites, or grass, which can build up on your dog's coat every time they go outside and slowly irritate their skin over hours, not minutes. That's why a dog can seem fine after a walk and start scratching like crazy that same evening. The second is food sensitivity, which shows up far more often than people realize, especially with certain proteins or fillers in lower quality kibble. The third, and this one surprises a lot of owners, is a disrupted skin microbiome. Just like humans, dogs have a delicate balance of good bacteria and yeast living on their skin. When that balance gets thrown off from overbathing, harsh shampoos, or even stress, the skin becomes more reactive, more inflamed, and much more inviting to fleas and ticks looking for an easy host. And that's the part nobody talks about enough. Ticks and fleas aren't just random bad luck. They're drawn to certain conditions. Warm, moist, inflamed skin is like a welcome mat for parasites. But when your dog is already itchy and irritated, you're not just dealing with the original problem, making your dog a more attractive target for the very pests that make everything worse. It becomes this frustrating cycle. Itchy skin invites parasites. Parasites cause more itching, and round it goes. This is exactly where a lot of owners make their first mistake, and it's an easy one to make. When your dog starts scratching, the instinct is to bathe them more often, hoping to wash away whatever's bothering them. Overbathing, especially with harsh or scented shampoos, strips away your dog's natural oils and disrupts that skin barrier even further. You end up making the itching worse, not better, even though you're doing it out of love and good intention. But what actually helps? This is where that one simple ingredient comes in: apple cider vinegar. Just a teaspoon, properly diluted, can make a real difference for a lot of dogs. Here's the reasoning behind it. Because understanding why something works matters more than just being told to do it. Apple cider vinegar has natural acidic properties that can help rebalance your dog's skin pH, which tends to shift when the skin becomes irritated or inflamed. A more balanced pH creates an environment that's less comfortable for yeast overgrowth and less inviting to fleas and ticks, which tend to prefer that warmer, more alkaline skin surface. Some holistic veterinarians also believe the slightly acidic scent it leaves behind may act as a mild natural deterrent for certain parasites. Although it's important to say clearly, this is not a replacement for proven flea and tick prevention like the ones your vet prescribes. Think of it as a helpful addition, not a substitute. If you want to try this safely, here's how a lot of experienced dog owners do it. You mix 1 teaspoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar into a cup of water. Some owners add this to their dog's food occasionally, in small amounts, while others prefer using it as a topical rinse after a bath, gently applied to the coat and left to air dry rather than rinsed out. Never apply it directly to broken skin, open wounds, or areas that are already raw from scratching, because the acidity can sting and make things worse in those spots. And if your dog has any known sensitivities, kidney issues, or you're simply not sure, always check with your vet before adding anything new to their routine, even something as gentle as this. It's also worth saying plainly, this is not a miracle fix, and it will not work identically for every dog. Some dogs respond quickly. Others need a more complete approach, addressing diet, environment, and sometimes underlying allergies that only a vet can properly diagnose. If your dog's itching is severe, if you notice open sores, hair loss, swelling, or if the scratching is non-stop and disrupting their quality of life, please don't wait it out at home. That's the kind of situation where a licensed veterinarian needs to take a look, run the right tests, and rule out anything more serious like a bacterial infection or an underlying condition that home remedies simply can't fix. But for the everyday itching, the kind that shows up during allergy season or after a rough summer of walks through tall grass, small consistent changes tend to make the biggest long-term difference. And this is the part most videos skip over, because it's not exciting, but it's the part that actually works. Prevention is almost always more powerful than treatment. That means checking your dog's coat regularly, especially after time outdoors, running your fingers slowly through their fur to feel for any bumps, ticks, or irritated patches before they become a bigger problem. It means choosing a gentle, fragrance-free shampoo and not overdoing bath time, giving the natural skin barrier the chance to rebuild itself. It means paying attention to what's in your dog's food, because sometimes the itching isn't coming from outside at all. It's coming from what's in the bowl every single day. A simple daily routine can genuinely change your dog's comfort level over time. Start with a quick coat check each morning or evening, just 2 or 3 minutes running your hands over their body, feeling for anything unusual. Keep their bedding washed weekly, because fleas and irritants love to hide there just as much as on your dog's skin. If you're using the apple cider vinegar rinse, try it once or twice a week rather than daily, giving your dog's skin time to respond without overdoing it. And keep an eye on the weather. Humid warm days are when parasites are most active, so that's when a little extra attention goes a long way. Here's the thing about pet care that so many people forget in the middle of a stressful, sleepless night with a scratching dog. Your dog isn't just an animal in your house. They're the one who waits by the door every single day just to see your face. They're the one who doesn't care what kind of day you had. They're just happy you're home. When they're uncomfortable, when they're itchy and restless and can't settle down, some part of them is looking to you, the same way they always do, trusting that you'll figure it out. And you will. Maybe not overnight, and maybe not with one single trick, but with patience, attention, and the willingness to actually understand what's happening beneath that fur, you can help your dog feel like themselves again. So here's the simple recap. Itching usually comes from more than one cause working together, so treating just the surface rarely fixes it for good. A small amount of diluted apple cider vinegar may help rebalance your dog's skin and make it less inviting to certain parasites, but it works best alongside good grooming habits, quality nutrition, and regular vet checkups, not instead of them. If anything ever seems severe or doesn't improve, your vet is always the right next step. At the end of the day, the little things you do consistently, checking their coat, watching what they eat, giving their skin a chance to breathe, are what really protect your dog over time. Not one single trick, but the steady, everyday love you put into their care. If this video helped you understand your dog a little better, do them a favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more pet owners going through the exact same thing you are. And if you want more honest, practical pet care content like this, go ahead and subscribe, because there's a lot more we still need to talk about. Now I'd love to hear from you. Has your dog struggled with itching or ticks, and what's actually made a difference? Drop it in the comments, because your experience might be exactly what another worried pet owner out there needs to read tonight.